it's just such a tragic juxtaposition, Valen. So the Knysna Municipality in the Western Cape is now distributing water tankers to several areas around town. The local municipality says public facilities like schools and clinics are being prioritized, but the town is facing a day zero as water supplies diminish. Dr. Sean Phillips is the Director General with the Water and Sanitation Department and joins us now for more on the measures that are in place to prevent day zero in Knysna. Dr. Phillips, good morning to you. Welcome to the program. Thank you very much for your time. Perhaps we start off with a status update on this looming possibility of a day zero.
Good morning, Iman, and good morning to your viewers. The situation is very serious. It's one of the worst droughts that have been experienced in that area for a very long time. Normally, there would be enough storage, which, coupled with very strong restrictions, would enable the municipality to get through such a drought. But unfortunately, the municipality has neglected investment in the maintenance and development of its infrastructure for decades. Its population has grown. It hasn't increased the capacity of its pumping stations to pump water from the extraction points in the Knysna River to its balancing dam and its augmentation dam. So those dams don't have as much water in them as they would have had if there had been more investment in the infrastructure. In addition, the municipality has a very high level of leaks. It's approximately 50% of the water in its distribution system is being lost through leaks. We can't tell exactly how much is being leaked because they've also neglected getting all their water meters working correctly. Most of the water meters don't work, so it's very difficult to measure exactly how much water is being lost through leaks.
You talk about leaks, it's also compounded by illegal connections and the aging infrastructure that you were talking about just a moment ago. And we'll circle back, Dr. Phillips, if we can, to accountability for not having done the work that should have been done a long time ago to avert the situation we find ourselves in now. The Akkerkloof Dam, which I think, based on my reading, relies on that surface water, it's just at 16%. This is the Akkerkloof Dam. Why was Knysna allowed to reach such a critical level before the national government stepped in?
Well, local government is a separate sphere of government in South Africa. Local government, in terms of the constitution, is responsible. They have original powers for water service delivery. We have been advising Knysna and many other municipalities for a long time to improve their maintenance and to invest in their infrastructure. So the accountability must lie with the municipality. The residents of Knysna must hold their municipality accountable. The way in which we're stepping in now is not to resolve those maintenance problems. That needs to be resolved by the municipality and the billing and revenue collection problems. We are providing them with advice. We have obtained expertise together with National Treasury to get the best people who were involved in Cape Town when they were approaching day zero involved to assist Knysna and to advise them how to go about managing this situation. And also we're providing them with technical expertise to improve their water resource planning. For the longer term, we have provided them with money to do feasibility studies to construct another dam, but that's for the longer term. It's not going to resolve the immediate problem.
Let's go back to the accountability question, Sean. And as you said, we told them to improve and invest a long time ago. So it stands to reason that you could have seen this coming. Why didn't national government step in sooner?
How should we have stepped in sooner, Imran? We can't replace the municipal leadership in Knysna. It has to be replaced by the electorate in Knysna. In 2010, when there was a drought in Knysna, the national government gave the municipality money to drill boreholes and gave them money to build a seawater desalination plant. After that drought went away, the municipality had plenty of surface water. They neglected those boreholes and they neglected the desalination plant so that neither the boreholes or the desalination plant are functional now due to that neglect. So there's limitations to which support from the national government and funding support can address the situation. In the end, You can't get away from the fact that the municipality must maintain and operate its infrastructure.
Yeah, and I know there are limitations in terms of national government placing municipalities under administration. But again, as you say, and I don't know if you have a status update for us, Dr. Phillips, on the desalination plant. In other words, these supports, the advice, the directives were given a long time ago, and there certainly was a non-adherence to that, which led to this emergency situation that we see ourselves confronted by this morning. Do you know anything about the status of the desalination plant?
We are currently assisting the municipality to do an assessment, a technical assessment of the desalination plant to ascertain what would be required to rehabilitate it and get it functional. Unfortunately, it's been vandalized while it's been neglected. So it's going to take time. Resources going to have to be allocated to get it functional again. So it's probably not going to be able to assist with the immediate problem.
Again, you know, there's a history of failed projects here, Dr. Phillips, that abandoned dam plan, that non-functioning desalination plant. As you say, it circles back to the local authorities there to take responsibility, and indeed, you know, for the local community to push for that accountability and to ask, where did the money go? Why were some of these long-term interventions not put in place? But it doesn't eradicate the fact that we're in a situation now where there is a crisis. So talk to us about the water provision plan, and you talked already about some of the long-term plans that are not going to kick in immediately. But what's the response plan in the immediate to ensure that besides the water tankers that I mean, I guess a simple question is, are we able to avert a day zero at all?
We were in Knysna on the weekend together with the minister and technical officials from the department, and we did lots of site visits, and we had a long, detailed engagement with the municipality. We're in agreement with the municipality as to what needs to be done now to address the immediate situation. First and foremost, there needs to be more effective communication between the municipality and the residents. They have put in place level 4 water restrictions, which is very strong water restrictions, but they're not yet enforcing them enough. There are still people in Knysna using too much water. So currently, as you indicated, there's about 10 days worth of water left in the Akkerkloof augmentation dam. We need to stretch that 10 days out as far as possible. And the main way to do that is to reduce consumption in the municipality. So the restrictions need to be enforced. Over and above that, as I indicated, the municipality is losing a lot of water due to leaks in its distribution system. They have made an emergency additional allocation, and they've hired some service providers on an emergency basis to try and close as many of those leaks as possible. They have those boreholes that were drilled in 2010 that they've neglected, that are dysfunctional. They're also on an urgent basis working on getting those boreholes functional again. Those are the main things that can be done to increase the water supply so that we push out that situation where there's no longer water in the distribution system longer than the 10 days. There has been a little bit of rain recently, and that has improved the situation a little bit, but it's not nearly enough. If worse comes to worse, and there isn't more rain, and they're not able to enforce the restrictions well enough and reduce the leaks well enough to stop the distribution system from running out of water, then there are plans to use water tankers to bring water to Knysna from other municipalities in the area which do have water, so that at least people will be in Knysna will be able to get the minimum amount of potable water through the water tankers to get through this very difficult drought situation.
Yeah, and it is an example, Dr. Phillips, of systemic mismanagement and a lack of oversight and holding to account the local authorities. Again, that's a question, I suppose, that goes to the provincial government, and this would be the government of the Western Cape in the situation deteriorating to the point that it has currently. You talked about the 20 million rand that was allocated for the boreholes, which at some point also were left to neglect. But this money has now been allocated for those very borehole repairs. Is it going to be enough? You've shared a little bit about how it will be distributed, but is it going to be enough to stabilize supply, or are we just delaying the inevitable here?
Well, in the severe drought, you can, if the drought is going to continue, you can only delay the inevitable. We don't have control over the weather, and we can't make it rain. So this is the way to manage the situation. You try and make sure that you reduce water consumption, you reduce wastage as much as possible while you're in this extremely unusual drought situation until the rains come and the normal water resources can be restored. But water systems are designed so that you can still have water even in times of drought. And as I indicated, if the municipality didn't have such a high level of leaks, if it had invested more in its pumping capacity, been able to keep its dams sufficiently full, then we wouldn't have gotten to this situation where the dams are almost empty nearly as soon as we have gotten.
Yeah, the fruit of bad decision-making is what you're sharing with us this morning, Dr. Phillips. And as you also pointed out, 3,000 of the 11,000 households who are provided there are paying for water. Non-payment and illegal bypassing has unnecessarily compounded this particular situation. And again, it goes to, Dr. Phillips, what you were saying, the management question. Certainly, a lot needs to be done to pull this particular municipality back from the brink.
Absolutely, Iman, you're quite correct. But what was positive from our meetings with the municipality on the weekend is that they weren't defensive. They agreed with the assessment that I've given here. They are open to and say themselves that the maintenance and the investment has been neglected for decades, and they are now mobilizing themselves and making emergency allocations to start doing what should have been done long ago.
Yeah, and we'll try and get them as well to talk to us. Dr. Phillips, thank you for your time.